Yo, what's up, my fellow virgins? Your boy, like 6 sauce can never take a motherfucking loss. Today, I'm keep forgetting my echo. I don't know why. But today, we're about to react to Yap Jitsu, whatever his fucking name is. And we're about to react to Flash games are really violent. If you don't know what Flash games are, you about to figure this shit out right now, my nigga. Because you niggas do not know about going to being in fucking middle school. You say, man, fuck cool, man, fuck all that shit. I'm about to play fucking Y8 unblocked games. And these are games that used to pop up. Let's get into this fucking video. We don't read. You go. No, I'm fucking with y'all. You need to read before you go.
Spent any amount of time on the internet in the early 2010s, you probably remember Flash games were some of the weirdest but most memorable pieces of internet media from that time.
Exactly.
A surprising number of these games were extremely violent. But if you remember correctly, back then the internet was just a completely wild place.
Exactly.
Shock sites and places like r/watch people die just posting violence and death everywhere they can.
Wait, what?
And this was around the same time sites like Newgrounds, Armored Games, and Addicting Games were filled with extremely experimental violent video game content. And you could really see parallels between the two, almost like they were directly inspired by how violent and gross the internet was at the time.
What y'all know about this, bro? Like, you feel me?
A lot of these early Flash
games
real
shit.
Feel like shock content themselves disguised with video game elements. But it didn't really stop at just gore sites and Flash games. Animations posted on places like Newgrounds in the earlier days of YouTube were in a similar lane, and it really shows how influential this type of edgy content was at the time. Series like Llamas with Hats became iconic because they mixed Adult Swim style humor with over-the-top violence.
And, well, this guy walked in.
Okay.
So I went up to him.
Yes.
And I stabbed him 37 times in the chest.
Oh, Jesus
It's a perfect
Christ.
example of how early internet creators would push boundaries while still keeping everything stylized and insensitive. Another example that defined that era was Happy Tree Friends. On the surface, it looked cute, colorful kids cartoons.
Yeah, as a kid, I thought I was just playing a game. I didn't know this shit was superly violent, but, like, this shit looked like serial killers made this shit.
Talking animals, bright colors, all very innocent, right? It looked like that at first, but beneath was random moments of horror that were unexpectedly violent for the viewer. Characters would get crushed, blown up, or brutally killed in ways that you'd never expect to see in what looked like a kid's cartoon. This was a common formula back then. It made people laugh, cringe, and made kids scared. And it also got people to share it all over the internet. The mix of brutal violence and something that looked like it might be made for kids was exactly the kind of edgy and chaotic content that defined early internet animation.
Exactly.
A lot like Flash games. Sometimes I wonder how many people my age are low-key traumatized from watching stuff like this as kids. Everything used to be so weird, creepy, and completely unpredictable in the early 2010s. But honestly, I love it, and stuff like this is the whole reason my channel even exists. So with all that out of the way, let's talk about some of the most violent Flash games from that era.
Skull Kid. What's this?
First up is Skull Kid. You're this kid in a skull mask running around with a chainsaw completely
Yeah, I never
mowing
played
down
this. This shit
anything
looked
in
kind of
your path.
ass.
Desks, coworkers, you name it. It's ridiculous, brutal, and kind of boring, but honestly it's the perfect example of how early Flash games didn't hold back when it came to violence. You eventually get a gun on the second level of this game too, you're not just stuck with a chainsaw the whole time. This game was short and aged pretty poorly, but I feel like it has enough charm to where I needed to place it on this list. The whole game kind of looks like a kid's drawing, which I like, and it reminds me of the edgy stuff I used to draw in 5th grade. Definitely an important piece of Flash game history.
Edgy shit you used to draw in 5th grade? What the fuck was you drawing, my nigga? What the fuck? Whack your boss! This the best
Next
one!
up is Whack Your Boss.
He coming at you, lum lum lum. I used to pick the fucking, I used to slam this nigga head and everything. I used to go crazy. Then this other one, you grab the chair, he push him out the fucking window, he fall down. That shit was tough.
And I've talked about this game briefly before. There's
This
a lot
shit
of
was
variations
tough.
of it. But Whack Your Boss is like objectively the best one. You're in an office with a super annoying boss who won't leave you alone, and the goal is to creatively get rid of him.
But personally, if y'all have a boss who's really an asshole, me personally, I don't give you the, I feel like you shouldn't, violence is not always the answer. You know what I mean? If you just quit like a fucking grown man or some shit. But yeah, back in the day when I was growing up, I was like, playing this, I was literally a fucking child. But this was funny as shit. This before I even worked. I wasn't even able to have a fucking job.
This game is pretty messy and it's not exactly deep, but it's classic early Flash game violence.
Exactly.
I probably spent way too much
He
time
sit down,
trying to get all
smoke,
the possible
the
ways
nigga
you
come
could
in
kill this
there,
guy when I was younger.
wrap his body up, bam!
This game is almost just a torture simulator disguised as a game, and I think that's how a lot of these early Flash games work. It almost feels like they're directly influenced by how popular gore sites and shock sites were at the time.
Wait, what?
The newer internet might be worse in some ways, especially with like AI content and stuff, but this is not the type of stuff you really see nowadays. My mom got
I
pretty
remember
mad
this
at me
Don't
for
Whack Your
playing this, and
Teacher.
I can see why.
I never played this because as a kid, this shit was kind of crazy.
And just look at it.
What are you fucking doing? What are you doing? Hush! And that is not blood, y'all. Just let y'all know it's not blood.
Definitely not something I should have been playing in like 4th, 5th grade.
Well, I was playing this on a fucking laptop in the same grade as you, nigga.
Oh well, I turned out fine.
13 Days in Hell? I don't think I played this one.
Next game up is 13 Days in Hell. This one's just a straight up shooter where you're stuck trying to survive wave after wave
I
of
didn't play this
enemies
one.
that keep coming at you. You're fighting off endless creepy dudes with axes and these weird zombie things, and every day it gets more intense. You can tell the graphics are that really old like 3D Flash era stuff, but there's something exciting about just spraying bullets and trying not to get torn apart by these guys. It had an almost tower defense setup, but I remember thinking this was nuts back then, honestly. It's loud, kind of rough around the edges, but I feel like it doesn't get shown enough love.
No, I never played that. Madness? Like
Next
Mad,
game up
like the show?
is Madness.
I played this, but
Listen,
it was okay.
This is probably one that doesn't need an introduction at all if you spent any time on Newgrounds back in the day. Madness was both a series of insane stick figure animations and a game where you basically
Yo, the stick figure animations used to be fucking fire back then. I'm talking about like the fucking fighting ones, the shooting ones, blocks hit. Oh my gosh, y'all niggas don't know ball.
slice and punch your way through wave after wave of enemies. It's technically just stick people, yeah, but it somehow manages to be way more artistically creative than it should be.
Exactly.
It's like someone took every super over-the-top action movie and mashed it into one tiny flash window. Madness as a series stood the test of time and
Shit
even
was
has a more
fire,
recent version
bro.
on Steam.
Just a game.
The series shaped a lot of people's childhoods for sure.
Casualty.
I really hope some of you remember this game. Casualty is a classic early Flash stick figure game
Oh
my cousin
shit.
showed me when I was a kid.
Damn.
The entire objective is basically kill all the stickmen without the other
Yeah.
ones noticing it. You do this by clicking around the scene to trigger environmental events that eliminate each stickman one by one. And if a remaining stickman sees how someone died, you fail the level. For a
Exactly.
Flash game, it's surprisingly hard and strategic for such a simple concept. A lot of levels are like little puzzles where you have to figure out the sequence of clicks so that each stickman dies without tipping off the others.
Exactly.
There's no direct combat or weapons in your hands, it's all about manipulating the environment to make the kills happen and go unnoticed. This game came in a bunch of versions over the years. There's even a Casualty 3 on Newgrounds, and the core idea never changes. Stickman deaths by any means necessary, as long as no one else.
This nigga hitting core memories,
Even
yo.
if you've never played this game, you could probably still tell it's the most Flash game thing ever. Violence meets stickmen. Another game that falls in this creepy category, and oh my gosh, there's so many I could name, but it's Penalty Chamber.
No, I never
This
played
one
this
is brutally
game.
wild in the most Flash game way possible too. You basically throw a stick dude on death row into a room full of deadly choices, traps, and ways to kill them.
Jesus
Spikes,
Christ.
saws, blades, all of it. You click something and you're watching another ridiculous kill animation play out. Kinda like the Whack Your Boss series in a way, but a little more like with stuff you could do. There's no real goal other than figuring out all the hilarious gruesome methods though. It's making me realize there's almost a morbid curiosity trend with these games.
Jesus. Happy Wheels!
This is one you've probably been waiting for.
Come on,
Everybody
bro.
remembers
This
this
is
game
legendary.
who grew up online. It looked silly at first, goofy characters on bikes and scooters, but the
Hell
second you hit
no.
play,
That
it's
shit
like
had
the
real
developer
skill.
just wanted to see how messed up it can get. Limbs fly across the screen with splatters of blood, bodies get shredded while they flip and explode. Everybody knows Happy Wheels.
Come on, bro.
Every level has some death waiting just around the corner, and what made it stick in people's heads wasn't really just the violence. People loved physics games in this time period. You might have started the level out trying to ride a bike, and then 3 seconds later you're impaled by spikes with your torso spinning on the ground. This game had a combination of gross, hilarious deaths and barely controlled ragdoll physics that made it so culturally popular and remembered online. Oh, and I briefly mentioned this in my last video, but the developer who made Happy Wheels also made this game called Divine Intervention, which would fit beautifully on this list. I'm not going to dive into it here though, but
never
you
played
can
that
check my
game.
last video if you want to hear me talk about it.
This shit look
There's
tough.
also a bunch of other
Come
crazy
on,
Flash
come on. Trying to get know about this.
games on that list that would have easily made this one. I just don't want to repeat them. Like Gunblood and Swords and Sandals. There's so much wild stuff from back then, it's impossible to fit it all in one video.
That's the one. So if you're new to co-producer, you could really type in any.
What's this?
Finally, there's Pico's School,
You never played this game. Any game that's involving school, while I was in school, I ain't want to play it.
which is probably the most infamous Flash game on this list. The safest way to explain it is it's a school.
Jesus
yeah,
Christ,
you don't
is that
play as
Satan, bro?
the bad guy in this game, but you start in a class and
Is that
out
a
of nowhere,
black kid or an Indian kid?
your classmate just pulls out a gun and chaos explodes, literally. From there, it's a scramble through the halls, finding weapons and trying not to get shot by
What
the
the
mean
fuck?
classmate, we'll just call him. But
Oh,
yeah,
this one of
game
those,
is sudden and terrifying
yeah, I
for a
can't
kid,
really
and
say that,
also
but you know what
absurd
I'm
in
trying
that
to say.
classic Flash way I keep
He's a
talking
shooter.
about. The graphics are borderline ugly and the violence is so out of pocket. It's not the best game, honestly, but I feel like it's a good way to end this list. It's just like explains the media I grew up on as a kid. It's edgy, horrific, and very violent. Looking back at this stuff, it's kind of wild to think about what we were exposed to online as kids.
Hell yeah.
I say we because I know some of you guys are older and some of my viewers are actually younger, but according to YouTube Studio, most of you guys are 18 to 25, which is my age, so the internet for a lot of us back then
You
was
18 or you
unpredictable.
25, my nigga, because I'm 22, bleed.
Completely unfiltered. You'd go from laughing at silly cartoons 1 second to watching a stick figure get absolutely obliterated the next.
Yeah.
From Flash games, animations,
Pussy,
to shock
pussy,
sites,
pussy.
they were all experiments in pushing limits
Come here,
on
nigga,
the
come here,
internet.
pussy,
And that's
nigga.
exactly why this era of the web sticks for so many people. It's easy to look at it now and think it was all over
Oh,
the
that
top
shit
and
was
just
hot.
ridiculous, but there was some genuine charm to a lot of these games. It made people curious, creative, and yeah, a little desensitized to certain things, but in a way that inspired us to make, share, and appreciate content that felt alive and unpredictable. That's exactly the energy that got me hooked on making these videos in the first place, and why I love revisiting this weird corner of internet history. So yeah, maybe some of it was disturbing and didn't stand the test of time very well, and maybe a little bit of it traumatized the generation, but these are games that are pretty much relics of the internet now, and I know a lot of us can appreciate them.
Hell yeah.
Before I fully close this video, I want to say that I've been experiencing...
Yeah, before you close this video, I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here. You feel me? I appreciate you and all that for making the video and all that, gang. But yeah. I'm gonna like the video and shit like that. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. If y'all niggas grew up on games like this, bro, please comment which one is your favorite game and which one is the best. You know what I mean?